I got the horse right here. The name is Paul Revere, and here's a guy that says...
Hello, racing fans, and welcome back to another edition of Handicappers Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. I'm Mike Heads, along with Drew Forster. We're going to go through the Sunday, June 21st races at Hastings. We got 8 thrillers. Racing Secretary Nichelle Milner filled, and should be a lot of fun. Good $25,000 optional claimer.
Yeah, that's a good race. Actually, there's a lot of good, very evenly competitive races today. You'll see as we go through our picks, there was some tough ones to kind of try and figure out. Speaking of that, we'll jump right in the first. Is a 3-year-old $16,000 event, going 6.5. And this is a race where you can pretty much make a case for everybody in here. I went to the 5 Clear to Victory. I thought there was a very good second behind Brother Duster last time. When you look at the races he's ran in so far this year, he ran for 16, got beat a half by Mighty Fraser, who came right back and won again. Right. And then his third start, he only got beat 3 lengths by Brother Duster, who I think was very well met in that spot. He moves to Antonio Reyes. I like Clear to Victory on top. But Richard Hamill, who I'm sure, had his option to ride that horse, he elected to stick with Cognac, who just got beat a nose by Clear to Victory last time in that same race, and he could be coming up to
move.
Yeah, he could be coming up to a very good effort in his third start so far this year. And interesting that Hamill sticks with him. So those are the 2 I was stuck between. And I put Kiss Him Goodbye, who ran into some decent horses, dropped in for 8, absolutely demolished the field in 18 flat, winning by almost 9 lengths. And I got him in the third spot, but another one I wouldn't be surprised to see win it. You can make a case for Call It Even, who's coming out of that same 25 with Merlot, and even Mario's Win, who Keishan Balgobin would have had the option. For some reason, Agent Gord Rumble stayed away from Clear to Victory, but he is my top pick.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't mind the horse at all. I went to the Kiss Him Goodbye, though, to win it.
Yeah.
I just think the pace scenario calls for this horse to get an easy lead. Yeah. And I think Mark Buchanan's going to get things pretty cheesy on the head end like he did last time. He ran very fast the last part of the race. And I worry about how he's going to fit against these horses, but I look back at his first race. He ran second behind Strangely Arousing, who came back to win a non-2, non-3 allowance, or non-2, 16. But impressively, and I just think Strangely Arousing would be the favorite on this race. So I'm going to go to Kiss Him Goodbye. I just think this horse gets the lead, has a tactical advantage on his rivals, and I'm going to call for him to win it. I agree with your Clear to Victory. I'm going to put that one in second, and I put Call It Even for third. Pedro Alvarado sticks with for Greg Tracy. A decent run for 25 last time. This is an easier spot for him. I know he did lose, but he tried to win the race on the backstretch, and it cost him third as Mario's Win nailed him late. But anyway, I got to go. I like the 3, though, just because of pace advantage, and that's usually what wins races, though, is pace. 3-5-4 for me in the Sunday opener. On to the second race, some $8,000 condition claimers going 6.5 furlongs. I ended up on the 2-horse Similkameen.
Speaking of pace.
Another one's going to get the lead here. Similkameen Joey dropping from 16,000 out of that Strangely Arousing race. He was forced pretty hard from the outside post. I think he's going to get things a lot easier on the head end. Similkameen Joey for me. I put the 4 Carson City Brown in for second. Didn't get the best of draws last time. Inside and wasn't fast enough to outfoot Brackendale. And Brackendale just ran. I mean, that was not really an $8,000 race. That race came up tough.
Yeah,
that was like a 16. And Carson City Brown, I thought he boxed on well behind Goliath, and Similkameen Luke were both sharp horses as well. This race didn't come up super tough, and I think Carson City Brown, this is a lot easier, non-2, non-3, 8 for him. And I put the 6 overtime. I'm going to give Mike Shabara a shot in here. Back-to-back distance defeats, double-digit defeats against better horses. But he's come back to work well. He worked in a minute. This horse can run. I mean, this horse showed in the fall last year. He's got some ability. And just for whatever reason, didn't get the best of trips in either of his first 2 races. Maybe third start off the layoff will be his best. And I know he's got more to give, but I like the work in a minute. Maybe it might tip his hand a little bit. I went 2, 4, and 6 in the second.
I agree with Similkameen Joey. As you mentioned, pace is the race. He's going to get the lead. He's going to be very tough to get by a good. He was favored last time. Just got beat a half length by Strangely Arousing, Spirit River, Irish
Romeo. It was a desperate finish. It was like the whole field was there.
You run fourth, you get beat half a length. I think he's the horse to beat, and you're dropping in for 8. I put Stone Ridge Raider in the second spot.
I can see him.
Yeah, and I see Hamill sticks with him. Just beat a neck. Hamill's rode him twice. Just beat a neck, and then come back and did win his non-2. He moves into the 8 non-3, which is a bit of a jump up, but Hamill sticks with him, so I'll put him in the second spot. And overtime, the one you mentioned, Mike Shabara's horse, all the reasons you said. There's more there, and that work in a minute probably suggests that maybe he's getting into form a little bit. I went 2, 1, and 6 in the second. On the third, 3.5 race, 2-year-olds. This is a maiden 25 event, and I went to the outside horse. I went to Chianti out of the Dino Condolinos barn. Hamill probably had some options in here. I like that 36-1 move out of the gate, and Chianti's out of Napa. And Napa's had a lot of good runners here.
Yep.
And Dino generally does well with his 2-year-olds. You know, Napa and Rosberg, actually some full siblings
Merlot.
that have been running very
Merlot
well.
was a nice horse.
Who was the filly? Willem Matt was out of Napa.
Yep.
Napa's thrown runners, and that's why I put Chianti on top. I also like the draw, the fact that she's on the outside. I put Texas Alley Cat heavily backed in her first start for Troy Taylor. Came back, you know, missed the break. There was a lot of things went wrong in that first race, but came back and made a good account of herself in a maiden special weight. Now drops in for 25. Just not really crazy about the rail, the fact that she does break a step slow, and that could harm her in here. And in the third spot, I put Awesome Cause. Pat Jarvis has 2 in here. The other one, Arbenina Rose, will probably take a fair bit of money, but interesting to see she goes to Balgobin to ride Awesome Cause. Good, another one, you know, worked out of the gate in 36-1, so I don't mind Awesome Cause in here in a pretty wide open race. I went 7, 1, and 3.
Yeah, I agree with your top 2. I went to Texas Alley Cat on top. I think the experience edge
could be the difference,
will
yeah.
help her from the rail.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if you're a first-time starter from the rail, that's difficult. But if you've run twice, and at least she broke well second time.
Yeah.
She really did. You know, hopefully the rail doesn't get her beat, but I think she's live on the drop. And I mean, she ran into 2 good ones in Capital Express and Adams River Run. And I just thought, you know, that was a good race. Chianti, if anyone beats her, it probably is Chianti out of the Dino Condolinos barn, for Swift Thoroughbreds, the homebred by Rosberg out of Napa, who campaigned both horses, and they're campaigning the foal again. And looks like excellent works as well. So, and a nice draw. So
Yeah.
1 and 7 for me. I put the 6 in for third.
Arbenita
Rose. So that's the way I'm going to go. But I do like Texas Alley Cat to win it. On to the fourth race, maiden $25,000 fillies and mares going 6 1/2 furlongs, and the obvious selection here is the 6 blended.
All blended.
And I think maybe today's the day. Start number 13 might be the lucky one for her. Narrow loss to Bold and Lovely last time. Does drop slightly into the maiden 25s, and doesn't catch a tough field. I think it's her race to win or lose. I put the 5-horse Cute Little Vixen, who was kind of taken out of her running style last time. She was out there chasing the pace, chasing the winner, Sailing for the Sun, and had Rockport Dancer on her outside.
Yeah, you look at the horses
in between.
that beat her, Sailing for the Sun, Bold and Lovely, and Rockport Dancer.
Yeah.
Those are decent horses.
Yeah, and she was in between horses and then got squeezed out down the back. Not squeezed out, but kind of she's getting outrun. And when you get outrun and squeezed out in between horses at the quarter pole, you're not going to hang on for a whole lot. So she ended up running fourth. I think she's going to be held back, make a run from off the pace like she did when she ran second at Golden Gate for Tim McKenna. And I just think this horse will be a lot better. And I put the 2-horse Ebony Cat. I'm going to give her another shot. She didn't show a whole lot. There was not a whole lot of perseverance in the last 3/8 of a mile in that race. So she's got more to offer, and I think she might even be some speed. She might be out there contesting the pace. Keyshawn Balgobin will ride, but I like this 6's race to win it. I went 6-5-2.
I agree. I got blended on top for the reasons you mentioned. This is not an overly tough spot for her. It's her race to win or lose. I went to the 7, Catching Fire, in the second spot. Out of the Always Dangerous Anita Bolton barn, first time starter, the works look good. Nice work on June 12th in a minute flat. That's good for this kind of company, you know. If you can work in a minute flat, she's obviously got a little bit of talent. She was a decent price at the BC sale back in 2013. That would be, I'm guessing, about a $25,000 yearly purchase. They changed it into American, so I'm doing the conversion. I'm guessing it's about $25,000. She does debut on Lasix, and I just think she gets Reyes. A lot of things to like about Nick and Pauline Pelicella's Catching Fire. And I put Cute Little Vixen for the reasons you mentioned in the third spot. Should see a better
She'll come from off
today.
it. She's not going to go out there. She was way too
Yeah, that first race for Tim, as you mentioned,
came from off it.
Yeah, it came from off it, made a nice run.
Produced a good run, and I think that's the way she'll be ridden.
So I went
in fact,
6,
I know that's the way
7, and
she'll
5.
be ridden.
She better be 6, 7, and 5 for me in the fourth. On to the fifth, 3-year-olds and up 4,000 non-winners of the year, going long. And I'm going to pick the same horse I went to last time. I didn't have Thanks a Million last time. I went with Texas Buccaneer, and I'm going to go back to him to win it. Seemed to get a little lost in the middle of the race, and then came running again at the end. And I think if he can sustain a nice, even run, Texas Buccaneer will win. He's out of the Mike Anderson barn, and Mike Anderson, our leading trainer right now, is going great guns. The second spot, I went to Roy's Dream. I know he comes out of those condition races into kind of a more open event because it's non-winners of the year or non-4. But the way he's running right now, I don't want to leave him off the ticket. 2 great efforts, both time coming from well off it to win his non-2 by a neck, then his non-3. Seems to be rolling through his conditions, and I don't want to leave him out of it because he's got a good running style, and Roy's dreaming the second spot. I went to Ackles Lily Ladd. In the third spot of the Harrison Ingley barn, switches to Alex Marti, who's having a good meet, puts the blinkers on, 10 wins at the distance, 19 wins lifetime. Yeah. Classy old 10-year-old son of Thunderello, and in a kind of a muddled race, I just went for a horse that's won a lot at the distance and has won a lot of races.
Why not? Good pick. That's a good. I didn't pick him top 3, but that's a good.
I don't
good
mind
point that he's
good
at the distance.
Yeah. So I went 4, 8, and 9.
And all his wins are coming blinkers too, which is nice to see.
Yeah, I
him
see
back
the blinkers back on him. Yeah.
I went to the 2 Captain Salt.
Who you picked last time?
Who I picked? He ran third. He got
going back to the horses we picked last time.
I know he got cooked on the pace, 24:48, a little too fast for these kind of horses. Just under pressure too. Not so much about the speed all the time.
It's about the pressure.
But the pressure. If you got a horse eyeballing you the whole race, it's far more discomforting than it would be if you were going 24:48 with a 2-length lead on your own.
Going 23 and change and 40.
You'd rather go faster by yourself, and you seem to be more comfortable and finish well. But yeah, he always was under constant pressure from the gate. I don't think he's going to get any. I just don't know where the speed's coming from in this race. Just looking around, maybe your Aka's Lily, AKA or Aka's Lily's Lada.
He's showing speed.
With the blinkers, maybe they'll get that horse out there. But I went Captain Salt. I'm sticking to the 10, vying for glory. I almost picked him on top. Yeah. Blinkers are coming off. I'm not too sure. I just was hoping that the distance change will help. I didn't really need to see a blinker change, but obviously Richard and Craig have decided that blinkers off might help this horse. But I just think the distance will help. He's not a 6.5 furlong horse. He's shown that throughout his career. He's a mile and a 16th and farther horse. And but I don't know. I gotta like him in this spot, as long as he doesn't get brutalized with the outside post. And I put the 4-horse Texas Buccaneer. I agree with him. I put him in for third. He's always there or thereabouts. He's a salty horse at this level at all times.
Race last time.
Yeah, no, it's a good race. There's a lot of chances in this race. I can see this being a very contentious affair. I went 2, 10, and 4 to kick off the late pick 4 at Hastings in race number 5. On the 6th race, this is our feature event, the $25,000 older horses. For 25 claimers or non-winners of 2 lifetime or non-3 BC bred. It's kind of a mixed affair. I ended up on the 8-horse Devil in Disguise, taking a big class drop out of Stakes Company. Probably not his best distance, 6.5 furlongs, but still the company. Any horse can actually, at the right level, run the right distance or any distance.
Yeah, exactly. He should have run on class.
I just think he's going to find a pretty good pace, a decent pace in here, and he should be able to, make some headway from off the pace and win the money. I put the 4-horse Bluegrass Pride. I've always been a kind of a fan of the horse. Pretty impressed with the way the horse went out there last time and off the 2-year layoff or year-and-a-half layoff, and battled hard and got beat by Lauren 500, who's a horse that's had like 7 or 8 starts this year. 3 of them 3 or 4 wins. And he's just running against a horse that was just too tough. This is not that much tougher of a race for Bluegrass Pride. He can handle this jump up in class. And I put the 7-horse Finally Diamonds, who was nearly beat by a laundered money. I don't think this guy liked the inside. He's a big, huge horse. You see him in the paddock. He's about 17.2. He's a huge horse, and you'll see, that he couldn't possibly be comfortable being cramped down on the inside on the rail like he was last time. He'll be getting into a more comfortable spot, circling some horses. It's better to circle 4 wide. Exactly. It's way more comfortable for them.
Stride, just keep
they
going.
Can just get rolling, and they're not cramped. You're trying to make the turn with them and crank them down. But Finally Diamonds, I think, will run better. I went 8, 4, and 7.
I don't have a lot to add. As you mentioned, Devil in Disguise, he's the class of the race. He's made almost $210,000. Your second top earner is Never Better Cause with $105,000. That was all made at 2 too. Mm-hmm. So I got Devil in Disguise on top. Bluegrass Pride, as you mentioned, he'd been off since 2013. He ran a valiant race against Lauren 500, and he obviously needed the race, right? He hadn't ran it ever, and unlucky to lose that day. Does move to Rosie Anderson's barn. Rosie's a high percentage barn.
She does great.
Does a very good job with a smaller stable, and they always fire big. And I know that Rosie wouldn't run this horse back until he was ready, so they feel he's ready, and I like the move to Antonio Reyes. And the third spot, I put Distillery. He went on the lead. His only start this year. It was his first start of the year, and he went on the lead with Go for Guinness. And there was, 23 and 46. They're going fairly quick up front, and he was hooked into a tough horse like Go for Guinness. Got passed by Brass and Gold and Taylor's Deal 8. That was a tough race. Only got beat 2.5 lengths, and I give Distillery a good shot in his second start back this year. I went 8, 4, and 2 in the 6th. On the 7th, Fillies and Mares for 8,000. Good little race here. I think it's a 2-horse race. I gave the nod this time. Last time I picked Curious Gal when they ran higher, and she does drop in with CA Miss, but I'm going to give it to CA Miss. Maybe, Curious Gal bounces a little bit off that. That was a very tough effort for her first start of the year, and, she does come back with a nice 59 and 4 work, but I thought CA Miss could have beat her last time, and I'm just going to try and go her way to try and
CA Miss last time.
Get some odds to try and beat her this time. So we're going to switch our picks this time, but I went with CA Miss on top of Curious Gal. But it's one of those two. I would put both of those two in your, like your pick 4 or your Sea to Sky pick 6. Because I think it's definitely one of those two, and it does drop off a little after that. But I went CA Miss, Curious Gal. I put Bamboo Dream in the 3rd spot. Been a long time since she won a race, but won a nice one last time over Charming Silver and Elusive Lily. It was exactly the same condition, and just nice to see her close and make a run, and she'll probably be closing late because there should be a decent pace. I went 6, 7, and 4.
Yeah, I agree with your top two. I did go to Curious Gal on top. I think she gets clear. I'm not going to try and beat her, but CA Miss, if anyone beats her, it's going to be CA Miss or the one Clarice B. Yeah. I don't mind Clarice B. She's all right. This is an open 8. There's a lot of these horses coming out of conditional 8s, and that's different. Clarice B is a pretty nice horse. It's won a pile of races. Almost won half of her career starts. Almost half of her career starts she's won. She's a cool mare. But or 3rd anyway. Yeah, but 7, 6, and 1 for me. But I think those are your 3 horses in the 7th race. But I agree with you. 7 and 6 or 6 and 7 are the top 2. On to the 8th and final. I got some 6250 solid older horses here to close out the weekend's racing. 6.5 furlongs to be the trip. I ended up on the 4-horse Private Bounty for the North American Thoroughbred Horse Company, and Troy Taylor and David Lopez. Looks like this one will get a favorable pace scenario, and here you got Wise Boss, Gotta Go, I Don't Roll on Shabos goes, Look Out Dubai is fast, Proxyman just laid down a 44.
Yeah, he's smoking last time.
Prince of Bees Herbie wants to be out. It's just a race where the only horses that'll be off the pace are Private Bounty and Burnaby Baron, but I like Private Bounty, so I'm going to go to him to win it. I put the 3-horse Look Out Dubai. I think he'll last the longest of the speed, and I put Proxyman in for 3rd. I went 4, 3, and 6.
I put Look Out Dubai on top because I don't think he doesn't necessarily need the lead. I think he'll the 2 inside of him are going to go Wise Boss and Outroll on Shadow. So I think if he can just get in behind them and make a nice run, and claimed last time, dropped to 4,000 last, or the 5,000 non-winners of the year I should say, and just absolutely demolished the field last time. He was only by 2, but he was in hand, and I look for him to run back to a big race. And I put Prince of Bees Herbie in the 2nd spot. Another one, see, he's on the outside. Gabriel Asenzo should be able to hopefully just get him to sit back off a little. But the last time he was in for 8, that was a tough race against Leo's in the House and Stormy Canuck, and only got beat a length and 3/4. And those horses are just tougher than these. Leo's in the House would be 1 to 9 in here. And so I don't mind Prince of Bees Herbie and Private Bounty, the horse you mentioned, coming in from Turf Paradise for Troy Taylor in the 3rd spot. Oh, there we go.
There goes the
3, 7, and 4 for me in the 8th. Are we still rolling?
Still working.
All right, well, let's do our picks, and we'll have
do
a look
our
at
picks. Yeah, there we go. Back in race number 1. I went with the 3-horse Kiss 'Em Goodbye over the 5 and 4. Race number 2, I went to the 2, Similkameen Joey over the 4 and 6. Race number 3, I went to the 1, Texas Alley Cat over the 6, Arbenita Rose in the 7, Chianti. In the 4th race, I went to the 6, Blended. I went 6-5-2. Race number 5, I went to the 2, Captain Salt, 2, 10, and 4. Race number 6, I went to the 8, Devil in Disguise, 8, 4, 7. Race number 7, I went to the 7, Curious Gal over the 6 and 1. And the 8th and final, I went to the 4, Private Bounty over the 3 and 6. On to Drew's picks.
We need that little technical difficulty sign.
We'll get over it.
Back in the 1st, I went to the 5, Clear to Victor over the 1 and the 3. In the 2nd, I went to the 2, Similkameen Joey over the 1 and the 6. In the 3rd, I went to first-time starter number 7, Chianti over the 1 and the 3. In the 4th, I went to the 6, Blended over the 7 and the 5. In the 5th, I went to the 4, Texas Buccaneer over the 8 and the 9. In the 6th, I'm with Mike on number 8, Devil in Disguise over the 4 and the 2. In the 7th, I went to the 6, CA Miss over Curious Gal, the 7 and the 4, Bamboo Dream. And the nightcap, the 8th, I went to the 3, Look Out Dubai over the 7 and the 4.
Well, that'll do it for the Sunday edition of Handicappers Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Hopefully we've given you a little insight and get some winners throughout the afternoon. Wish everyone lots of luck. Don't forget racing resumes next Saturday and Sunday, and don't forget the holiday Wednesday. I think it is July the 1st.
Yeah, July 3rd.
So there's lots of
Sunday,
little tweak to the schedule in a week's time. All right, that'll do it. Thanks everyone for tuning in. On behalf of Drew, we'll see you next time here on Handicappers Corner at the Derby Bar and Grill.